You'll find a place of rest and illumination, where God within you helps you to light your way. He knows the peace you need and the hurt you're feeling. He longs to hold you and to wipe your tears away. For the doors are locked, the lights are on. What are you waiting for? Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, come on in, come on in. There's room enough in this home of love for someone just like you. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, come on in. Yeah, come on in. Ha! Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thanks for being with us. You guys are very brave souls for getting out from beneath the sheets this morning. Yeah. That's right. A little bit slower moving on a morning like this, right? Either that or you're running around the house, like, you know.
Hello, good morning. Oh, I can hear myself today. All right, so we're going to go along with Nancy's lesson for you guys today and talk about trusting in God and the power of now, and instead of focusing on the outcomes, focus on the current action you're taking. Okay, so I'll go ahead and read the affirmation of the day and the daily meditation. So the affirmation is, everything I need comes to me at the perfect time. I ask for help, I tell life what I want, and then I allow it to happen. Sorry. And the daily word is let go and let God. Our prayers should be for blessings in general, for God knows what is good for us. Socrates. When I was little, I might have made birthday wish lists for my parent or grandparents, or dropped hints about that certain toy I just had to have. Now that I'm older, I sometimes give God a wish list of exactly what I think is best for my life. But I know an even better way. I open my mind to God's plan, which could be something even greater than what I was imagining. It can be hard at first to let go of what I think should happen, but when I do, it's also easy. Suddenly, I don't have to be in charge anymore. What a good feeling that is. God does bring about the right answer to my prayers. And even though it isn't always what I expected, it is always the best outcome for me. God works miracles all the time, and I am ready to let go and let God work a miracle in my life right now. Giving every concern to God, I am thankful that the answer is there. And with that, we'll go.
Beautiful. Let's sing the children out, shall we? I am walking in the light, in the light, in the light. I am walking in the light of God. In the light, 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 in the light of God.
They're so cute. Hey, I love all those sweaters out there. It looks good. You people from Wisconsin in those short sleeves, enjoy. Hey, welcome. Anybody for the first time? We have a gift for you. Can we raise hands? Are we raising hands? And just welcome. Okay. Oh, someone over there. Wonderful. Welcome to you. And we have a gift for you. Don't forget to get it after the service. Oh, two gentlemen. Wonderful. Okay. Oscar and Bill, welcome. All right, now the announcements. Let's see. We've got the Sunday Bulletin, the email newsletter, the Facebook, the website. Wow, we have a lot of things. So please silence your phone right now so we can have a very blessed service. Check in on your social media before you do that. Okay. COVID mask update. The positivity rates in Hillsborough County have been considerably increasing since the end of December. Masks are highly recommended, and Unity Board of Tampa is committed to keeping our congregation as safe as possible. I'll put my mask on right away. So keep it on. Thursday, Thursdays at 7 p.m. on Zoom, we have a course in miracles. And that's going to go on, well, January ends soon, so maybe it'll go in February. They'll continue. Okay, every Thursday. Every Wednesday at 6:30, we have meditation and music with Dr. Dave. And so follow them on something in yellow that I can't read.
Followed by live music.
Followed by live music.
Yeah, okay. And if I may jump in, Pat,
add
to this. Yeah. So obviously, some of you guys are aware that we've been doing our Wednesday night group for a few years now, and we just decided it was time to also put it in the announcements for a few weeks, give it a little special shout out. We want to invite you guys again to come and join us on Wednesdays. We're also doing a fairly thorough discussion of the takeaways that Nancy gives us on Sunday mornings. So that's a big part of that discussion. When it says discussion, if you're wondering what we're discussing, That's the gist of it. And then we
how
also
to apply them, right?
Yep, exactly. So we wanted to give it a special little shout this morning.
Thank you. We love your music. Soul Sister Group with Gilda Suarez. Soul Sisters. All right. And the reading and discussion, the book, Awakening Your Right Mind, last Saturday of every month, Gasparilla Day. Okay. Well, they can be Soul Sisters and Pirate Sisters. Sleeping mats for the homeless, recycling, have fun, help others. I've done it. I've cut up those little plastic things, and it's fun. Just do it in front of your TV. It's no problem. So today after the service, join them. Hey, we're celebrating some birthdays. Kathy Johnson, January 26th. Where's Kathy? Is she here? Okay, hi, Kathy. And Reverend Alan Moss. Oh, Reverend Alan. Happy birthday. And
Shall we sing him happy birthday,
yeah.
Pat?
Yeah, let's sing it.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, God loves you. Happy birthday to you. Thanks for celebrating it with us.
Were there any other birthdays?
Sure. Did we have anyone else with a birthday who's maybe here in person this morning? Anyone got a birthday this week?
Okay.
I guess not. Just our friends on Facebook. That's good.
Yeah, we always have to cover everybody. Very inclusive here. Very inclusive. If you don't know, I'm Margaret Kubelins. I'm the board president of the. Oh, well, thank you. Of so many duties, so many fun. Oh my gosh, I was brought to tears singing "Come On In" because we are in such an amazing place. From when I started 3 years ago. By the way, my term ends the end of February. Thank God. No. Oh. So if anyone's interested in serving on the board, we do have some opportunity there, and you might hear from either Dwight or Kathy Arnold. So that's coming up.
But Margaret is also willing to stay on, which she's not.
Against my family's wishes. No, my family's very supportive. Okay, so I'm standing before you, not to discuss all that. You know, I always have to add a little extra. Okay, the important part is we are in a very phenomenal place. And we owe so much of that to Reverend Nancy. And they come as a pair. Our executive director, Jeffrey. So come on in, come on down, come on up. You're fine, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine. Okay, so first of all, I thank you everyone. They deserve a great honor for being here. Thank you. We really could not be here without their additional layer of leadership. And I stand to represent the board, so don't think I'm just one person by any means. Okay, so fall of 2020, we signed a contract with both of them to come and help us in leadership for 1 year. Well, that term expired December 31st. Then I twisted their arms, got on my knees, begged. You know, they're still healing up. Begging, groveling. Asked them to stay on without having a signed contract. Of course, that wasn't necessary by any means. So we now have a new contract with them, and I would like to ask them to sign that before the entire congregation, everyone here, as well as on Facebook. Yes, and we're going to sign. So I've asked them to, or we have asked them to stay on for another 5 years. We did allow that we both, yes, I'm so grateful. So just so we can move forward with our spiritual growth, their leadership is phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. So thank you.
Why do we have two?
One for you.
Just kidding.
That'd be better, really.
This is signing music.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Bye, honey.
I really did 5 years. I really did 5 years because I can only serve for another 3, so I didn't want to have to do this again.
Thank you, Margaret. Thank you, everybody. I'll be talking, and I talk a little bit about this experience for myself. You know, Jeffrey and I are grateful, and we're grateful that that we've been able to work this out and still stay employed in our jobs and still serve. And one of the reasons that works here is because we are mission-centric. And as you all know, there's so many volunteers here that if I had everybody stand up, there'd be few in their seats. So one of the gifts of this serving this congregation is the fact that everybody serves. And we're a team, and we have so many great teams of people. So Margaret, thank you. Thank you to the board. I know the board was diligent about getting on this. I sort of joked at the end of December and told Margaret, I'm not obligated to be there next week. I just want you to know. But, of course, I would never be that arrogant. All right. We did not do our affirmation and daily words, so we're going to do that now. If you would join me, that would be awesome. There is only one power and one presence in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. And I have today's daily word, which says, pray for others. I am praying for you. Just hearing the words, I am praying for you, helps me relax into the calm strength of a trusted friend's faith. Reassured, I feel my own faith growing stronger. My friend may be next to me or calling from far away. The power of prayer is undiminished by distance. Grateful for the gift of others' prayers for me, I welcome every opportunity to pray for anyone who asks. Having heard the prayer need, I let go of concern. In faith, I behold the Christ's presence within the one for whom I pray. Knowing the truth of one another's wholeness, I release any thought of illness. I affirm divine wisdom, guiding important decisions, and divine strength, relieving any weakness. I feel the warmth of God's love, bringing peace and restoring hope to those I hold in prayer. And from Thessalonians, we always give thanks to God for all of you and mention you in our prayers. And I just want to say, I hope everyone will say hello to Patrick, but I'm so grateful that Patrick is back amongst us. Yes. There are several people here today I haven't seen for a while, but Patrick's been trying to get well, and just seeing him here today in my line view is just means a lot. I'm glad to have you back, Patrick. All right, I have a couple of stories. I may skip one so we're not running too late, but or I'll give you the short version of both. So the first one is from Coley, and this is about a Pennsylvania coach. And Margaret, you might know where this is, Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. And this coach, he's a high school football coach. He canceled weightlifting practice but because of the weather, but he canceled the practice and told his athletes they had to go find a neighbor or a person in need who needed their driveway shoveled, that would be their workout for the day. So his weightlifting team hit the roads, and they all shoveled all day. In a tweet posted on the 16th, he wrote, "Due to expected severe weather, Monday's weightlifting workout has been canceled. Find an elderly or disabled neighbor and shovel their driveway. Don't accept any money. This is our Monday workout." Well, he said that this all started with the predecessor, the coach Jeff Metheny, who started this. He said he used to have our kids do it. Anytime we had a snow day and school was canceled, he had the kids go out and shovel driveways in the community. And he said, so I just wanted to keep this going. Well, when it got all this attention, he tweeted out a follow-up acknowledging and thanking the coach before him for starting the tradition. And there was a young football player that got interviewed, and I loved what he said. He's 16-year-old. And he said, "It makes me feel like a part of something bigger than myself. I definitely always do feel good about being able to help other people," which sounds like our group here. And that reminds me, Norma, I just want to say thank you to you and Vivian for taking food over to the people in need this week. I know you just did that on your own to help out, and both of you, thank you. We appreciate you watching out for our community. Yes. There's always so many people to thank here. I feel like we have to start at 10:30, or there's just so many people I feel like I miss. You know, Dave, you've been coming every Wednesday for how long? And you still serve us, and you're humble about it, and you don't say anything, and you don't expect anything, but we appreciate that. We appreciate all these people. And you know, you can help me by thanking these people as you go along and see them too. The more they feel honored, the more they want to serve. And you know, we don't want them to leave either. All right, this is from Bobby Lopez. This is a great story. It's a young girl named J.P. Ferguson right here in Newport Richey at River Ridge High School. She is a star basketball player, and she has a friend who has what is called Friedreich's ataxia disorder. And this young boy, Gavin, he was diagnosed with this neuromuscular disorder at age 5. So she had started this fundraiser for him. Each year, she has donations collected at one of the basketball games, and some of them are based on how many shots she makes. So she's been helping him, and I love what he said. He said, "I really am truly very grateful for what she's done. I think she's incredible that she wants to do this for me, and will keep doing this until there's no need to do it anymore." So I think that's just wonderful, and I love that it's local. So thank you, Bobby. And even though I guess a lot of people in the community help him, she's the one who keeps it going. So, and by the way, she's in 7th grade. So, you know, it says a lot. All right, Elliot, I think we should get ready for meditation.
Let's do it. We're going to sing Blessing to the World. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirits on earth, and who I am, and all I do is a blessing to the world. I'm singing you. You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and who you are, and all you do is a blessing to the world. I'm singing we. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and who we are, and all we do is a blessing to the world, is a blessing to the world.
So I invite you now just to take a few deep breaths. Lots of excitement this morning. Lots going on. It's cold outside, which is such a nice change. We just pause now. Just pause our lives completely. And allow ourselves to just rest for just a moment. Breathe deeply. Taking in all the air that you need, the abundant universe we live in. And let it out gently. And relax your body and your mind. Relax your thoughts. Let them go. And just listen to the words I'm going to share, taking in what is right for you. As I center myself this morning, I become fully aware of my breathing. Focusing on my breathing prevents me from being absorbed by the past or the future. In any given moment, I can only embrace the now. Through presence of mind, I can gain the clarity and the wisdom I need to navigate every situation. And if I'm in that present moment, then I can do this without looking back and without looking ahead. It is through being present in every moment that I can interact with every person. Listen with an open heart and mind, and eliminate the appearance of separation and differences. From a place of truth, we are all unified through divine consciousness. And I am one with the world, through my connection to the infinite source. I choose to live from this truth by monitoring my thoughts, expressing non-judgmental acceptance, and remaining neutral. When I struggle to relate lovingly to someone, I challenge myself to identify and focus on understanding what triggered my reactions. And that's so much better than me trying to analyze the person and what is wrong with them. Reminding myself continually that we are one is what helps me stay focused on this moment in time. Remembering this truth fills me with peace and keeps me from feeling overwhelmed. It helps me relax and focus on what truly matters in life, which is the present moment and the oneness that helps me create. As my mind and heart fill with the awareness of divine love, I take a few moments now to breathe these thoughts in. As my sacred self, I am present in mind and spirit, and with my mind and heart centered in peace, I come back to this moment in time, open to hearing what is mine to learn, allowing spirit to speak, and I am at peace. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you to our awesome band. So, one of the most spiritually empowering books I feel ever written was The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. You know, I think the first version of that book was written in 1977, and it's still one of my favorites today. The book caught the attention of people like Oprah Winfrey, and she still revisits the book and talks about it on some of her programs, as I understand it. But the reason it became popular is because one of the things it teaches is how to understand the difference between listening to your head and listening to your heart. Another key point is learning to become the observer of your thoughts and your mind and how your mind plays you. And it also talks about understanding that our greatest power is in the now, in the moment. 20 years ago, some of you may remember Cliff Topping. He was on the board, and he had the board read this book, The Power of Now. And I still have a signed copy from him because Jeffrey was on the board then, and I remember them studying it. It offers, the version he gave them is called Practicing the Power of Now, and it has teachings and meditations and exercises. And I find it even more useful than the book because it actually walks you through what to do and what some of the examples are. Well, over the years, I picked it up periodically, to recenter myself, or when I felt like or feel like my thoughts are becoming a distraction to me. So it's one of my go-tos. And he has a great way of helping us understand how our mind actually impacts us. One of the things he says in the book that I think is important is that our body is constantly getting false messages from our mind, indicating we're in danger, we're under threat, we should be fearful, we should doubt, we might lose, we're being hurt by others. And he says as long as we continue to identify with that ego part of our mind, we will always question, and we will always doubt, and we will always be distracted. A perfect example he shares in the book of how our ego drives our compulsive need to be right versus being wrong. He says most of us have the need to be right, and we've talked about this before. The need to be right versus the need to be happy. But he says the reason we do that is because our ego couldn't possibly take the blow of being wrong. So our mind insists on being right so we can be satisfied in that process. But he also says that once you have disidentified from your mind whether you are right or whether you are wrong no longer matters. As soon as you're out of that place of running from your ego, it doesn't make any difference to you. He says it makes no difference to your sense of self. So the forcefully compulsive and deeply unconscious need to be right, which he says is a form of violence, will no longer be there. Now that's one of my favorite things to be reminded by him. That aggressiveness in us, that defensiveness, that need to push somebody to make our points is a form of violence in its own passive way. However, he says, once we stop identifying with our mind, we can state how we feel clearly and firmly, or whatever it is we think without that aggressiveness, without that defensiveness, and our sense of self then will come from that deeper and truer place. Now, I'm sure none of you have the need to be right, but I've been there. The exercise he gives us to watch out for our defensive practices is, he says, we just need to start monitoring ourselves to see how often we start to defend a statement, how often we start to become pushy about our need to be right. He says, in those moments, ask yourself this: what are you defending beside an image created by your mind? What are we defending? That's a great question. So in those moments when you're arguing or pushing or irritated, ask yourself, what am I defending here? It's in my head. It's not who I am. He explains that the more we become aware of our pattern of defensiveness, the more we observe it, the less we will be attached to it, and the less we will identify with that way of being. The more we become a witness to our own thinking, the less likely we are to be defensive or aggressive, and the more likely we are to end our arguments, to stop playing power games with each other, which, by the way, is what destroys relationships. Power. The need to have power. I love how he describes power. He says, power over others is weakness disguised as strength. And he also says, true power is within and it's available to us in any given moment. Now, most of us would agree our mind can play havoc on us, right? I mean, you can get up and start your day and think you're about to have a great day, and before you know it, your mind has convinced you of all of the other reasons why you're not. But that creates such unnecessary anxiety and stress for all of us. This is probably one of the most profound statements he makes. All of our suffering comes from the thoughts in our mind, not from us being. When we're being, just being, we are not suffering. He says the less time we spend in the practical aspects of our life, that daily stuff, the less pain we will experience in life. Now, he says that we talk about our life experiences, our life situations, what we're going through, as if it is our life. But it's not. It's not our life. Being is our life. Those are just the things that are happening in our world at the time. In the world according to us. He says that the reason that happens is because it's based on psychological time. The past and the future. Our life hasn't always gone the way we expected, so we resist what happened in the past, and then we resist where it led it to today. And then we hope for a better future. So technically, we're never in the now. And that's the point he makes, which I think is really relevant to all of us. Think that through for a minute. We're always looking back, what we could have done different, what we did, why we didn't do it. Then we're always hopeful about going ahead. So again, we're not in the present moment. And then wherever we are now, we're often resisting it based on past and the future. Now, myself, I would add the word resentment to the word resistance. I think we're also often resenting the past. Resenting where we are now because of someone else, or resenting where we're headed. We're so busy, back, forth, future. It's always crazy from my perspective. I can hear it in my own head. But none of that, he said, is ever going to help us learn to spend time in the now. And one of the best points he makes is that there was never a time when your life was not now, nor will there ever be. It's only in the now that you can move beyond the confines of your mind. So whatever happened in the past, it happened in that now. So why do you need to be there? And wherever the future is, which you have no crystal ball to predict, why are you worried about there? Now this sort of brings me to what I started to share earlier. So, as I mentioned earlier, I picked this book up when my mind starts to get ahead of me. And that's been going on for a few weeks now, which I think was fueled by the preparation of signing on for 5 years. And I want to explain that. So, Sam was the first unfortunate recipient of one of my mind dumps last week, when stuff just came out that I didn't really understand, and I realized I must be having a difficult time. And then later this week, poor Jeffrey got the volcano of that mind dump, and he was the unfortunate recipient. But here's how it went in my head, and I had to really process this before, honestly, I was willing to sign today, because I wanted to understand myself. So when Jeffrey and I were brought on in September of 2020, we were given our marching orders. It was a big task. We were coming on, and from my perspective, it was to move, build the congregation back. You know, remember September 20th, I only had 12 people staring at me that day, and I had never seen the church so empty. So it freaked me out a little bit. So when I took this on with him, we agreed to think about this like we did our business for the last 28 years. Set our intentions, devise some strategies, and complete the mission. So we've been on a dead run. I took 2 Sundays off since that time. Since January of 2021, I took 2 Sundays off. And not because I wasn't given time, but because I refused to take it. Because I was on a mission. I had only until the end of the year to get the group where they wanted to be and to meet these needs and to get us moved and to build these people and volunteers, and I felt really driven. At no time, really, during the year, even though many of you were coming up and saying, are you going to stay? Are you going to stay? I really never entertained it. Not that I didn't think about it, but it wasn't my focus. My focus was now. I got to get delivering. So when this came up, I realized, oh my gosh. Right? Back then it was facing all this uncertainty and it all made sense. I'm good at uncertainty. I know how to navigate. I've been building businesses my whole career. I'm like, this is where I'm comfortable. Fixing, helping, doing. But with the thoughts of that becoming more permanent, my mind started to make me doubt. Would I be able to live up? I won't cry. I might cry. Would I be able to live up to the congregation's expectations in this next round? It wasn't just a year. Would we grow where we needed to grow? Would we do what we needed to do? Would we get the remodel done like we've committed? All these thoughts. Would I still be relevant? What if they didn't want me in 2 years? What were they going to do? Fire me? I've never been fired from anything. How would I feel? All these things. But the overarching fear was whether Unity was choosing me and Jeffrey or whether they were stuck with us. Now, I know that sounds silly to you, but I want you to understand that was real for me. Are we just in a good enough place that it makes sense to keep us? Or are we really the right ones to take Unity where it needs to go next? Well, thank you. Thank you. Oh, don't. Thank you. Anyway, once I proceeded through all of those crazy conversations, revisited the book, came to the realization that I had to get back to the now. Then I read something that really stuck with me. Freedom lies in being the observer of your thoughts without judging what you're observing. As soon as I was reminded of that, I was like, it's okay that all that crazy stuff is going on in my mind. And once I can get back to being the observer, I'll realize that I'm not the thinker. That's not who I am in my being. Now, this is the next point I think is really important for us to get. It's also really critical that we not live in duality. Not separate from our mind like we're two crazy people in our heads. Okay? And I think Deepak Chopra and a gentleman named Krishnamurti, they make this even more clear, I think, than Eckhart Tolle did for me. They say that Krishnamurti says, our mind can lack self-awareness, which is when our conditioned responses become triggered and we become immersed in our thought. As we become more spiritually mature, we achieve a higher human intelligence that allows us to become fully aware of our thoughts, but not disown them. And I think that's really important to understand. The idea is not to become the observer of your thoughts to where you forget. You're part of that. It's there for a reason, to make you think and to help you process. But Krishnamurti also says, when there is a division between the observer and the observed, there is conflict. But when the observer is the observed, there's no control, no suppression, the self comes to an end, duality comes to an end, conflict comes to an end. And this is the greatest meditation, he says, to come upon in this lifetime, for the mind to discover for itself the observer is the observed, and not to live in that duality. Eckhart Tolle takes this further and he says, rising above our thought allows us to use our mind in a more focused and effective way, such as finding solutions. So when your mind's telling you all these things, your mind's trying to help you come up with a plan. It's not trying to mess with you. I just wish it said nicer things. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, it could be a little nicer, really. I don't understand that. But the bottom line is that our ego doesn't care about now, and that's what I want us all to understand. Our ego is not interested in the present moment, so if you start listening to your ego during difficult times, you will never get out of it. Use it to find solutions, to be creative, to look for ways out, but don't expect it to help you see a bad situation as good. You want to increase, for example, I want to give you this example I wrote. If you want to increase your monthly income and all you see is what you're able to earn based on the past and how limited you are by the projections of the future, well, I can only have this much because here's my income. This is how it's laid out. Well, then your mind offers all the unhelpful advice. I'm too old, I'm too inexperienced, I lack education, blah, 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 blah. But without taking action, everything your mind is telling you actually is going to come true. So if you don't look for that better job and you don't seek something more, you're going to end up right where you expected and your mind told you you were. There is no way out of this. If you engage your mind in a more useful way and look for a solution that has nothing to do with the past and nothing to do with the future, you will find your way to the now. But freedom comes from us simply watching and learning more about ourselves as we watch our thoughts. Let's review our takeaways. Embracing the power of now requires the following. Become the observer of your thoughts. Allow the light of consciousness to become stronger. Stop allowing fear to take over your mind. Thoughts of the past and the future are useless. Recognize the importance of being. This is where freedom exists. Focus on the action, not the outcomes. Give your best self in everything. Our affirmation is, I embrace the power of now. Let's say that together. I embrace the power of now. And I want to end with a great quote from Eckhart Tolle. I am not my thoughts. I am not my emotions, sense perceptions, and experiences. I am not the content of my life. I am life. I am the space in which all things happen. Let's take that in. So we pause now to recognize and reflect upon the power of now. We give thanks for our minds and the ability to have that thought process. But we affirm that we are not our thoughts. We are the observer of our thoughts. And we look to those thoughts to help us understand ourselves better. We're grateful for the gift of life and all the abundance of this universe. Amen. If you have a prayer, if you're online and have a prayer, please go to the website. If you're here, please use a prayer card and put your prayer in the back. We added our QR code to make giving easier. I hope that helps some. In the meantime, you know the drill here. We don't ask you for anything. We just bless what we're already getting. So let's join together in saying our prayer of prosperity. We have faith in God as our instant, constant, abundant supply and supplier. We have faith in God to open ways when to the human sense there is no way. We have faith in God to guide us in all our ways, and our health, happiness, and prosperity are assured. Thank you, God, for your abundant good now flowing forth to meet our every need. And we are blessed. We really are. And you're in for a treat. Elliot and the band practiced this song repeatedly this morning and put a lot of heart and soul into this. So it's called The Power of Now.
Power of now is always present, nowhere to be than where you are. The power of now flows oh so gracefully. The power of now is always perfect, nothing to be than who you are. The power of now flows oh so easily. Be willing to let go of everything you think you need to control. Oh, be strong enough to let go of everything you think you need to control. For everything goes away, that everything wash away. so gracefully. Be willing to let go of everything you think you need to know. Oh, be strong enough to let go of everything you think you need to control. For everything goes away. Let everything wash away. The power of now. The power of now. The power of now. The power of now. Thank you. Thanks. Thanks so much, guys. From that song from Faith Rivera. I think the last time we did that was when we had Terrence Young here as a speaker, and we always like to surprise him with the Power of Now song. Yeah. Thanks, Reverend Nancy. So good to have you guys on for this additional time, right? Yeah. You know, you guys are definitely the ones that we need and the ones that we choose, and we wouldn't have it any other way. It's the truth. All right, y'all. Let's stand and sing the peace song together. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment with peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And now let's join together and sing the prayer of protection. I almost forgot to come up here. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is great. Thank you so much for being here today. God bless you.
you.